Welcome back to Money Mind, and thank you for staying with us. Microbes, including the ones that you commonly hear about, like viruses, bacteria, and fungi, well, they're all around us. They're on my hands, on yours, and on our bodies. Now, we usually associate microbes with disease, but there are actually good microbes that we also use in our food. Choking learns more about the tiny, useful microbes that are turning into big business for the food industry.
Chocolate, cheese, bread, and wine. What do they have in common? Well, they're all made by fermentation using microbes such as bacteria or yeasts.
So there are good microbes and there are bad microbes. For the good and safe microbes, we actually have been using it in our food system. For example, your cheese and your yogurt, bacteria. You need bacteria to use it. Your bread, you're using yeast, commonly known as baker's yeast, right? Even your beer and tempeh as well is fungus, right? So they're microbes, but they're not going to kill you. You're already consuming it.
There are, of course, the harmful microbes too.
It is mainly the mold, the fungi one. People need to be careful with the quite a bit of mold produce mycotoxins. They can be, you talk about fermented cereals in the field, they can produce toxins and pass on through the production chain or even as a feed to the animals through the milk then to human.
Because fermentation using microbes is a natural process, companies are turning to this method and ditching the use of chemicals. The fermentation process is being used to produce food preservatives.
There are many ways to achieve this objective, like what we know, chemical preservative, but we should also know that there are also biological ways of prolonging food shelf life of food produce. One of them is using microbe to ferment the food produce, like kimchi.
The Korean fermented vegetable product kimchi contains high numbers of lactic acid bacteria. Some other common natural food preservatives include citric acid and acetic acid.
Lactic acid is a natural preservative produced in situ in the product by the lactic bacteria. You don't add it, but lactic acid already in the product, yogurt, kimchi, they help preserve already. Then sometimes people use the citric acid or even acetic acid. The vinegar is a natural preservative. People use this. That's produced by fermentation too.
Propionic acid, a preservative in bread and other baked products, is also produced naturally via fermentation.
A good example is they use one of the culture bacteria used in cheese, Swiss cheese. In Swiss type of cheese, fermentation, called propionic acid bacteria. That particular bacteria produces lots of so-called propionic acid. Propionic acid is an antifungal agent. And that one used in bread, baked product, quite common. If you read the label of the bread, then you will see the so-called calcium and propion on that. Adding calcium also then help crystallize the propionic acid.
Besides prolonging shelf life, fermentation using microbes has led to the development of flavor compounds that enhance the taste of food.
Yeast or bacteria, after some fermentation, maybe you have to do some more processing so they can have your desired product, which have your desired aroma, different taste. Typically, it's more enhanced flavor and taste.
The fermentation process has also produced colors that make food look more attractive.
One of the very appealing color is the color from the carrot, carotenoid. Carotenoid is actually a color that we add into beverage to enhance the color. Wonderfully, that there are micro yeast in the nature which produce carotenoid on themselves.
But while there are many flavor compounds that can be produced by fermentation, it's still a costly process.
Challenge is the yield. Is that economical? The companies need to work out the cost effectiveness of flavor production by fermentation and versus by the other conventional chemical means. Like vanilla flavor, the vanillin, synthetic one is quite cheap. I don't know, about $15 a kilo, something like that. But those natural extracted from plants, vanilla pod, that's quite expensive. The other one is produced by fermentation. You can produce vanillin by fermentation. They're also equally expensive. The price difference can be 10 or 100 times different.
Besides flavors, fermentation has also been used to produce aroma compounds, which are traditionally harvested from flowers and plants.
We are working on a yeast, what we call it red yeast. So with the red yeast, we have been doing a lot of engineering work, and now we are able to produce several aroma molecules, which are only produced in plant. Examples like the sandalwood smell, some of the agarwood ingredient is essential oil of agarwood.
Apart from its work on red yeast, Temasek Life Sciences has had some unexpected success with black yeast, which it has been able to harness to produce coconut oil.
The black yeast program was started quite by accident. One day my guy told me he has got a culture that smells much like coconut. So after realizing that, oh yeah, this is a new aroma molecule, so I asked myself a question, whether I can use this particular strain to make it more efficient, to make it more productive, so that we can replace the current technology. The current technology actually depends on cutting down the trees in Indonesia. After several years' work, we have improved the productivity more than 10,000 tons. Now we are more than 10 grams per liter, and it's commercialization ready.
TLL expects the flavors and fragrances market to grow from $21 billion in 2017 to about $24 billion in 2022. That is a compound growth rate of about 2.4%. The leading flavors and fragrances companies all have operations in Singapore. They include Givaudan, Firmenich, International Flavors and Fragrances, or IFF, Takasago International, and May.